Hello everyone, thank you for viewing. Today we are going to be talking about resume building and the current trends that employers are using and looking for in their applicants' resumes. First off, we're going to talk about the optimal length of a resume. Now resumes need to be within 1 to 2 pages. If you don't have a lot of work history, try to fit your resume on 1 page. If you have to go longer than 1 page, that's completely fine, but make sure that all the information you have is relevant. Your resume should mention your name, contact information, job experience, education, and achievements. For your contact information, make sure that you give a professional email address. Make sure that you don't have anything embarrassing like toocutefforyou@yahoo.com or Jonas Brothers for Life at Gmail. Make sure it's a professional email. Also make sure that your phone voicemail greeting sounds professional. Now many people don't check their voicemail greeting after they initially set it up, so I would recommend listening to it again to make sure that you wouldn't be embarrassed having a prospective employer listening to it. For your job experience section, make sure that you give the company name, city, state, job title, start and end date, and description of job duties. If you are unsure of the description of job duties, look at some job postings of some similar jobs online and see what language is used. For the educational section, list the degree or level achieved, the school name, city, state, start and end date, and awards or accomplishments related to your schooling. So if you received the highest degree for a 4.0 GPA, make sure to list that there. Lastly, you want to discuss your achievements, leadership, certifications, and volunteer work. This is where you'd want to put the outliers, like organizing a food drive, having a certification in CPR, anything like that. But once again, make sure that it's relevant to the job you're applying for. When employers are reading your resume, assume that it's going to be skimmed. They probably are going to have a pile of 100 or so prospective applicants. You want to use bullet points and headings for your section, and you might want to bold your headings as well so that your resume is easier to read. Also use short sentences. An employer might pick up a resume that doesn't have headings or uses long sentences, and they just might throw it out from the pile from there. Your resume should be adapted for each job that you're applying for. Now, it's nice to have a general resume, but I would recommend altering it a bit for each job that you are applying for. One important thing is that you want to mirror the language of the job posting. Many employers are now using online applicant software that will skim electronic resumes for keywords. So you want to make sure that you use those same keywords that you find in the job posting. When you use those keywords in the job posting, this software is going to pick your resume out of the batch of all the applicants and send it on to the employer and say, hey, you might want to look at this one. When you discuss your achievements, don't be afraid to brag about yourself a little. There are a lot of templates and resumes to make it easier for you so you don't have to start from scratch if you don't want to. But if you use a template, I would highly recommend modifying it, even if that's just adding a little bit of color to some of the headings. You want your resume to stand out in any way that it can. Now we're going to talk about some current trends. Soft skills is one current trend that's getting more and more emphasis with employers. And what soft skills are is that they're personal attributes that enable someone to interact effectively and harmoniously with other people. You really want to make sure that you use these in your resume. And these soft skills can include being a strong team member, being calm and collected in a crisis, anything similar to that. Employers will also narrow the applicant pool by searching for your social media accounts. Make sure that your accounts are either private or professional. So you don't want to have a profile picture of you chugging a beer, doing a cake stand, anything like that. You want to get rid of posts as well that might have foul language on them or your political views. You don't want to give them a reason to deny you. So I would recommend cleaning up your profile so that they have a good first impression of you. Employers are also looking for tech skills, so make sure that you put skills in your resume related to technology, such as proficiency in Microsoft Office. Once again, when writing skills in your resume, make sure that you mirror the language in the job posting for keywords. You may also want to add some of these popular skills: communication, teamwork and collaboration, adaptability, problem solving, critical observation, and conflict resolution. Now, I know I just told you to add all of those skills into your resume. However, you should not add a skill section to your resume. This is a growing trend. Instead of writing a skills section, weave those skills into your work history and experience. You also want to leave out an objective statement. They know that your objective is to get the job. Also, get rid of your references section. Employers know that they can contact you for references if they want them. And many online applications also have a space to put references before you upload your resume. This will also, by cutting all this out, you will have more space to put the more important information in your resume. Here are some things to avoid when writing your resume. One of them is fonts. You do not want to have any fancy fonts that are hard to read or obnoxious. Many fonts that are standard are Times New Roman, Arial, Cambria, Calibri, or Georgia. You may want to play around with these to alter the length of your resume as well. And avoid font colors unless you're using them specifically for your headings. You do not want to add any photos or images to your resume unless you're applying to be a model or a graphic designer. You don't want their first impression of you to be based on a picture. They could find something they don't like. Don't add any personal information such as your marital status, birth date, religion, social security number, etc. Once again, you don't want to give them a reason to deny your application. Here are the top 5 tips that were recommended by a staffing agency in the area. Number 1, no long resumes. 1 page is ideal, but 2 is fine if you need it. If you have too much for 2 pages, it's time to start editing out the old and outdated stuff. For example, the jobs you had as a teenager, if you're an older adult. Maybe don't add that you babysat for your aunt, things like that. Number 2, don't include your personal information in your resume. Leave off your age, ethnicity, marital status, religion, social, salary information, or anything else personal. It's best not to even put what your salary requirements are. If there's a space for that in the application, maybe just put the current salary for the job posting. You don't even want to talk about salary until you get offered the job. Once you get offered the job, then you can start negotiating salary. Number 3, be detailed. This is your chance to show off your experience and highlight the skills you have been cultivating at your previous jobs. Try using some solid action verbs when you can, such as accomplished, achieved, budgeted, built, coached, cooperated, etc. Number 4, do not list your references on your resume. Have a separate page with your references listed, but don't include it when you initially send out your resume. If they want them, they will ask. And leave off references available upon request. It just takes up space that you could use for other good details. And number 5, remember to proofread carefully. Most typos are caught by spell checkers, but you always want to double check. You might even want to have a friend look over it to make sure everything looks good. Most typos won't completely ruin your chances, but misspellings and improper grammar do not make a good impression. So double check. If you need more help on building resumes, I would highly recommend checking out Ohio Means Jobs. They have open hours where anyone can come in and get one-on-one help with their resumes, and everything they do is free. You can also go to your local library and have computer access for that, and maybe a staff member might be able to help you if it's not too busy. But once again, if you really want the one-on-one help, Ohio Means Jobs is going to be your best bet. Now I'm just going to show you a few templates that you can use. Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word is usually on every computer, even every library computer in the world probably. So when you open up Microsoft Word, it's going to open up this page. And up here, you can search for online templates. And resumes and cover letters are right there. So you can click on that to get there, or you can just type resumes and click search. Now here are all of these wonderful templates that you can choose from. Once again, the ones with the images in them, here, you can easily delete the images and have nothing there. That could be blank space, so don't worry too much about that. So let's say you really like this one. You'll click on it, you'll hit create. It's going to download and open up the template here. Now all of these fields that I'm clicking in is where you can start typing in your information. Once again though, get rid of that objective statement. Get rid of the skills down here. Most templates will give you a great start, but you're going to have to modify them a bit. So for the picture, easy, just right click and hit cut and it's gone. And then if you wanted to change the color in this, you can always do the outline color. You can do the fill color. Let's say you wanted an orange. So this is just kind of a way to make your resume different from everyone else that might be using this template. And then when you are done adding all the stuff you want, just hit save and you are ready to submit your resume. Thank you guys so much for watching.